Hey everybody, it's Kyle coming at you live from my basement. Although you're probably not listening live. Yeah, you're not. I have a special guest tonight. It is the one and only Keith Beard. Hello, sir.
Hello there. How are you?
Hey, hey, hey. Woo. Rein it in.
What?
I'm just joking. I
Oh,
said rein it in.
gotcha.
I'm just teasing, man. Yeah, it's good to have you, man. I know there's a couple of little hoops we had to jump through to get you on here, and neither one of us was really available till right now, and that's great. So here we are. We'll get it done. It's going to be a great show, everybody. So stay tuned. We are going to get right into it right away, and I'm going to start with what's bugging me. And surprisingly, everyone, I'm not going to choose anything political at all. Uh, there may be, I may allude to a little bit of politics just in a second. You'll hear why. But I want to talk about professional baseball. So I know my buddy here, Keith, is
Yes.
a big Royals fan.
Huge.
Yes.
Yes.
Huge baseball fan. Huge Royals fan.
Yes.
So
Who?
when did you start watching the Royals, Keith?
Well, the earliest that I remember, like I used to watch a lot of the baseball bunch in the early '80s, and that had like George Brett, like
Uh-huh.
Johnny Bench, who was like a huge favorite. But I lived all the stars
Oh,
really,
yeah.
and I remember watching
Right.
the first World Series. I remember watching was the '79 one. I was about 4 or 5, but
Mm.
then I remember the '80 World Series, which was the Phillies, the
Oh,
Royals,
yeah.
and I really remember
Yep.
the '85 World Series, and that's pretty much where I
Oh, yeah.
just latched on and was like, that's my team. So
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
front runner.
Yeah. You are. Coincidentally, everybody, that is how Keith and I met. Um, we were, when we were on vacation, I was on vacation with the fam last year. Anyway, we were in a bar and grill, and the kids were paddle boarding. And the wife and I were in there just having a few cocktails, watching them in the distance paddle boarding. It was kind of fun. And all of a sudden, my wife says to me, "Hey, look at that guy over there. He's got all that Royals stuff on. He's got a Royals shirt and a Royals hat." And I'm like, "What?" I turned around. I was like, "Holy crap, man. That's just not something you run into down there."
It's the truth.
I mean, if you're in Surprise, Arizona, you might run into it because, that's where they play their spring training and stuff, but, not in Navarro Beach, Florida. So immediately I went over and started talking, and that's how Keith and I met. And we hung out that whole evening, and your daughter hung out with my kids, and the wives hung out together. We hung out together and talked about baseball and all kinds of things. And it turns out we have so much stuff in common. It's just kind of weird how it all worked out.
Yeah.
But so baseball, that's the thing. Even something as silly as that, I look at it and I'm like, well, baseball introduced me to a new friend. There's no way I would have ever met this guy
No.
if I didn't have this love of baseball. So that's to me, that's like one. I know it sounds corny. I know it sounds cheesy, and but that's one of those things. That's the magic of baseball, and the Royals, especially because I mean, sure, I might be a Yankees fan or something and run into somebody, but to see another Royals fan, it's kind of like my wife had this coworker and she was dating this guy for a while, and he always had on Cleveland Browns stuff. He was a big
Nice.
Cleveland Browns fan. Right. Yeah. And I remember talking to him once and I was like, "Man, I mean, that's cool, man. It's awesome that you're so into the Cleveland Browns." I'm like, you got to love football to love the Cleveland Browns. And he was like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Well, it's not an insult. It's just being honest. You have to really love football to endure some of the garbage that you've had to put up with, just like I've had to put up with and you've had to put up with the Royals,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's kind of one of those things. But so anyway, in case you guys haven't heard, I mean, there's been talks going back and forth about the Royals and about baseball and about getting this season going and all that stuff, and it's just kind of been left uh, out there. We haven't gotten any real definitive answer as far as when we're going to have ourselves a baseball season, or if we're going to have ourselves a baseball season, and it's kind of driving me crazy. I don't know about you, Keith.
It's driving me insane.
Is NASCAR just not doing it for you, man?
um, I've never, the, no, that's just
Yeah,
I don't even know where to watch NASCAR, to be honest, or like any other sport. The only reason I can watch baseball is because of MLB TV, but we refunded our subscription because I
yeah,
I just don't think there's going to be a season. So
yeah. I don't think so either. I mean, everybody, if you don't know what's going on, I mean, it's kind of between the owners and the players union right now, and they've just been going back and forth. And last I heard, there was supposed to be a decision made today, or else, and I didn't hear anything else today as far as if they reached an agreement or anything. So I guess it's or else. Um, I mean, I did talk to my mom. My mom mentioned to me that it's supposed to start on July 10th, and they're going to have a short season, but I haven't seen anything about that anywhere. So I don't know if she got that from somebody she knows that works with the Royals or what, or if it's just hearsay. But yeah, I mean, we could sure use some baseball in this country right about now.
that would be
You
nice.
know, yeah, yeah. So that's my big beef. And if you guys are NASCAR fans, I'm not cracking on NASCAR. It's never been anything I've been too interested in. I'm not a big race car driving person. I've seen the Indy 500, and that's kind of interesting and stuff. But I do know this: NASCAR has been in the news because NASCAR officially came out and outlawed the Confederate flag
Yep.
at all their events. Yeah, and that was a pretty big deal, and it promptly. Uh, one of the drivers came out and said that this is his last season
I saw that.
if they can't. Yeah, but the funny thing is that guy, every race he's been in last place.
Yep.
So it's like, I guess they're going to have to go find somebody else to be in. I'm sure the guy, he was always, I'm trying to remember what place it was he was always in, but I'm sure the next guy up, if he was always like 30th, the next guy up, number 29 is going, well, shit, man, now I'm going to be in last place all the
Yeah.
time. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. So that's it, man. I just want baseball. I know. Call an ambulance. I'm crying here, but
There's no crying in baseball.
there is right now, man. There is right now. I want to go have me a big old dog, big old Sheboygan out there at the K and pound a Miller Lite and sit there and watch a game, and I know I won't be able to do that even if they do have baseball, but I'll go buy some Miller Lite tall boys and cook some dogs on the grill and sit in my front room and watch it.
Yeah.
Just anything to remind us that the world's not falling apart. So anyway, that's what's bugging me. I don't know about you, Keith, if you got anything that is bugging you right now.
Pretty much the same thing. I mean, like I keep hearing like that they're going to have some sort of an agreement. Then the players say that they're walking away from negotiations, and it's up to the owners just to tell them to like go back when they want to go back to work. I mean, I don't get it. Like you can't reach an agreement.
Yeah.
Like it can't be that
Yeah.
difficult. I just it just
Yeah.
it's just nasty.
It's funny because, I mean, this is your guys' golden hour. You guys can step up. Baseball is American as apple pie, right? I mean, that's what they always say. It's like the American sport, and all that. So right now is the time, man. We need something, and you can really come through and be heroes and build yourselves up. And yeah, you're probably not going to make a ton of money this year, but I'll bet you will next year if there's a
Exactly.
regular season. Because people will get interested this season. You'll get more people. There's nothing else to do, except watch NASCAR events, but I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why they can't figure it out. Maybe they just need somebody to put some. Great. There's my dog
I heard
barking.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So basically, for both of us, then it sounds like what's bugging us is baseball, which is amazing considering everything that's going on. I mean, that
Yeah.
stuff's bugging me too. I just don't want to talk about it, man. You know, I mean, I don't know about you, Keith, but I see enough and hear enough of that shit all week long. I just don't even want to think about it if I don't have to. So,
I,
and I know we have to, and I know things need to change and all that, but I'm just worn out on it, dude.
well, I think the thing that bugs me the most about what's going on is the fact that, like, I guess I didn't realize how blind I was to the amount of hatred
Yeah,
that I've been
yeah,
dealing with the friends that I know that have that I've pretty much have decided that I'm not going to be friends with anymore because they're just so hateful, and I didn't realize it,
yeah,
and I just can't
yeah,
accept that. Like but I don't know I don't know if that's the right avenue, or because
yeah,
what am I going to say to them that's going to be like, you know what, you're right. I don't hate these
yeah.
people anymore.
Yeah, you're not going to say anything to him, dude. That's going to make someone change. Someone has to want to change. Like probably one of the big lessons I ever had learned in my life, and it's not just for this scenario, but just in general. And it goes for like when I got divorced and all that stuff was going on, um, long before I met my wife, but my current wife, but I was pretty bummed out, and I had tried dating, and I was with someone for like a year or whatever, trying to make it work. But I think it was my mom who said to me, you're not gonna change anybody. They have to want to change themselves first. And if you're trying to change somebody and they don't want to change, you're just like banging your head against a wall. And boy, that is so true, man. And it's not just in that scenario, but in what you're talking about too, dude. You can't change those people, so you kind of got to step back and just let them change themselves if they're going to,
Yeah.
dude. And it's tough because you'll be in mourning because you're losing friends, right? But in reality, if they're that different as far as the hatred stuff goes from what you knew, then I don't know how tight things really were to begin with, and that's a hard thing to face too, man. You know, so just hang in there, man. But don't beat yourself up about it, and don't think that you can change anybody. That's for sure, dude. I used to be. Ugh, I've talked about it on here so many times, and but I used to be a real dick, and I was not a nice guy, and I grew up around plenty of racism, and I'm pretty ashamed of that stuff. But I also realized that I figured all that stuff out and got out away from that, and it's not just racism, but you know, just any sort of hatred for any type of people. I just don't have that. I think a lot of it for me happened when I was in college and I started taking Japanese. Because you may not know this, dude. There's a lot of older people that still really hate Japanese people in this
Well,
country.
like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there were internment camps.
right.
you know, yeah, but I mean, there's people that are still really mad about the war in the Pacific because the Japanese were putting a pretty tight beat down on us a lot, and people really took that personally. And there's still a lot of people that really don't care for Japanese people. So I think once I saw that and experienced that, and then of course going to college, and there's so many different types of people, I think that's what kind of opened my eyes and helped me grow. And I think, dude, you probably just are that way. You're a pretty easygoing, nice guy all the way around from what I've seen. So,
I try to be. I don't know how if I
well,
can succeed all the time, but
no, I've seen you one time, dude.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll change that. It's just a matter of time. But anyway.
Yeah.
Um. All right. Well, I don't know. Unless there's anything else bugging you, we can go ahead
Oh
and
no.
cut to the break
No, it's
and
good.
there, well, there's a lot of shit bugging all of us, but
Right. Exactly.
anyway, all right. Well, we'll take you to the break real quick. We'll come back and we'll talk about what Keith and I are into right now and kind of go through that and see where that leads us. So I'll go ahead and would you do the honors and throw it to Kyle for me, Keith?
Hey everybody, listen to Kyle. He's got a special message just for you.
Okay, everybody, and we're back. All right. So now it's going to be a little bit happier situation. We're going to talk about
Yippee!
what we're into. Yay. So, Keith, is there any music right now that you're into, sir?
Music? Did you say Well, it's kind of
Yeah,
I'm a big soundtrack guy, and I keep
right.
listening to Assassination of Jesse James. I rewatched it on Blu-ray about 3 weeks ago, and I've already listened to the soundtrack before, but I've been listening to it again and like over and over. I think it's like Nick Cave and Warren Ellis off the top of my head. Nick Cave and the Bad
Huh.
Seeds. Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's so good. It's so good. Even
Yeah.
my daughter recognizes like when I have it on my iPod and it's playing. I know I have an iPod. I'm old school, but whatever.
Nah, who cares?
Yeah,
Who
that's
cares?
pretty much it. Traffic
So,
and Neon Demon. That's it.
yeah. So that's, is that, let's see, that is the assassination of Jesse James by the coward.
Robert
Is
Ford.
that right?
Yeah,
Robert Ford. Yeah.
with Brad
I
Pitt.
never did see that movie.
Oh my god.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's got to be one of Brad Pitt's best. If you're not a Brad Pitt fan, I understand, but like
Yeah.
he's got a really good performance in there, and it's one of his best.
No, I like Brad Pitt. I think he's a great actor. As a matter of fact, the other day, here's another one I've never seen that usually people are like, "What?" Thelma and Louise.
Oh
Never
really?
seen it.
Oh wow, Ridley
Yeah,
Scott, man.
yeah, but it was on. It was on. Uh, it was on TV the other day, and we were flipping through channels. It was, and the wife and I were talking about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I've never seen it." And Brad Pitt shows up. I'm like, "Oh my god, look how young he is!" You know. I
Mm,
don't know if that was his first film or not. I'm not sure, but
I I mean,
but
it's the first one
yeah,
that got him noticed, but I don't think off
right.
the top of my head that that was his first film. I think.
Yeah, I think he was in something else
I mean, I know
before that. I can't
he
remember.
was on TV shows and stuff like that before, but
Right.
I don't know if that was his first film, but I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, we didn't watch the whole thing. I know what happens essentially, and it's very interesting. But I also failed to know that Harvey Keitel is a
Yeah,
cop in there that's chasing him. Yeah, I love Harvey Keitel, man. You know,
I just watched
he's
Taxi
one of my
Driver.
favorites.
I just
I
rewatched
love
Taxi
that
Driver.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that movie. Yeah, that movie. I remember when I went to KU and I was in film school, and they used to do um, art house movies on campus, and they would do them for they would have some real kind of cult classic ones. They would do it like midnight on Fridays and Saturdays, and I went. I'd never seen Taxi Driver all the way through. I mean, I'd heard about it. I knew the rough idea of it and all that stuff. I knew about Jodie Foster being there, very young. But I went to go see it. I don't think I was ever the same afterwards, man. I mean, that's one of those films that uh, it's absolutely mandatory. I think if you call yourself a film buff to see that one, it's
True.
it's an important movie. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I really like that film. I know it's a big bad bummer, and it's not the happiest of films, but hey, not everything's happy in the world. So, um, so you're listening to that? You've been listening to that song? Who? Oh, you said it was Nick Cave,
And Warren
and
Ellis.
then what else? You say Traffic? You've been listening to Traffic,
Yeah, that's Cliff Martinez. It's from 2001, but it's just so good.
right?
And
Yeah.
I think Neon Demon is also Cliff Martinez, if I'm not mistaken. But
Huh.
yeah,
Huh.
I
That's
don't.
interesting. Yeah.
I'm not as hip as you are when it comes to the music stuff.
I listen to pretty much everything, dude. I mean, I'm looking over at my records right now, and there's a Black Sabbath album, there's a Tupac album, and then there's a 5 record collection of called The Band I Heard in Tijuana, which is just
Cool.
Mexican brass. I love Mexican brass, like Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass, that type of stuff. Um, but I've really been into, and this is going to tie into what you're talking about too, by the way, because I
Oh,
didn't know this, but yeah, I've been listening to Run the Jewels 4, the latest Run the Jewels
oh
album,
yeah, okay.
which is, yeah, I love Run the Jewels. As a matter of fact, probably like a year and a half ago, my buddy Mikey and I took both of our sons and we took another friend's son and we all went and saw Run the Jewels live. And there's a lot of funny things about that, but one of the funniest is afterwards I talked to my son about it. I'm like, "What'd you think, man?" And he goes, "Well, that's definitely the most times uh, that I've heard the F word in one sitting." I'm like, "Don't tell your mom that. She doesn't need to know that part." But they were great, man. But I think my buddy and I loved it, and I think the other friend we took his kid, that kid loves hip hop, and so he was really into it. But I don't think my son or my buddy's son were really into it, you know. But we loved it. It was great. And you know who they opened for was what is her name? She sang the song Royal.
Oh Lord,
Lord. Yeah, they opened for Lord.
that's
How weird is that?
that is pretty weird.
Yeah,
That doesn't seem like a good
but
match, but okay.
well, she came out and it was interesting. We just watched the first couple of songs from her, but then I was like, all right, let's go. But but yeah, it definitely didn't seem like it worked together. But I assume they all get along or whatever. But they were great, man. They brought the house down. They were a lot of fun. So, but what I was going to tell you is this. So, Run the Jewels is made up of two guys mainly. There's Killer Mike, who, if anybody's been watching the news, you've seen him speak.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, he had a pretty amazing speech he kind of gave there, and that was all accidental. He didn't want anything to do with that, by the way. Um, Somebody basically said, "Nah, man, you're coming with us," and then they got up and spoke, and nobody really paid attention. And then he got up and said a few words, and that's when all the cameras and mics came on, and it turned out that he was pretty amazing what he said. But and then he comes from Atlanta, and he was tied into the whole Atlanta scene when um, Outkast was big. As a matter of fact, I believe that he was on a few songs with Big Boy from Outkast, and so he was involved somewhat in their music. So he's been around a while. And then the other guy is LP, um, and he's the Caucasian guy in the group, but he's been around. He was on Def Jam Records, and he's been around. He knew all the BC Boys. He knows, he's met all of them, and I don't know if he's worked with them, but he's familiar with all of them. But he's been around the Brooklyn, New York scene forever. But he also does scores for films.
Really?
Yeah, and what freaked me out about it is he's done a few solo albums, but I went on there and looked. He did the score for Capone, the Al Capone film that's out right now.
Oh, I haven't listened to that yet. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I listened to it a little bit because I was like, huh, man, is it going to have like a hip hop vibe to it? Nope, not at all, man. It's a just a film score. Uh, most film scores. I mean, they don't really fit into a category of hip hop or rock or anything like that. They're kind of just what they are, and that's what it sounds like exactly. So I was pretty impressed, man, that uh, both those guys are really talented. But yeah, he definitely is more involved in music than I know. Just like kind of like what's his name from Oingo Boingo,
Danny
the
Elfman.
Danny Elfman. He became such a big deal there
I was
with
waiting to
film
say
scores
that.
for. Yeah, yeah. But he, and I loved Oingo Boingo back in the day, and I was really heavy into the Danny Elfman scores. Everything he did with Tim Burton,
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands was a very big favorite of mine, and Batman. Um, but yeah, I always really liked him, definitely. So I don't know, I thought that was interesting. The LPs involved in that, I had no idea. So pretty cool.
That is cool.
Um, but I've been listening to that, and then I told you about Mike Oldfield. I think I sent you over a link to check some of that funky stuff out. But Tubular Bells,
Yeah, yeah. I did listen to
yeah,
that actually.
yeah,
I forgot about
yeah.
that.
It's pretty strange music. Um, when I was a little kid, my dad had the Tubular Bells album by Mike Oldfield, and for everybody, if you don't know what Tubular Bells, what you would be familiar with it uh, from from it, what you would be familiar with would be the the music to The Exorcist.
Yep.
Dun 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 dun, dun that tune. Oh, there goes that dog again. Um, but yeah, and I used to listen to that album of my dad's all the time. And what it is, it's an actual bell that's kind of shaped like a triangle, but it's a tube, and you can play it, like a triangle, I guess. I don't know, but it's a little bit tougher to play. I'm sure than that. But anyway, started listening to him again. I had Tubular Bells too on CD when I was like in college and stuff, and used to listen to it when I was studying. And then since he's come out with other Tubular Bells albums, but he also has come out with lots of other different types of albums too. And he's just a really talented musician. But I dig him as well. Um, and then Creedence Clearwater Revival. Can't get enough of that Chronicle album. I don't know what the deal is with that.
The Chronic.
No, not the Chronic. The Chronicle by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yeah, no, I do love the Chronic, man. That's definitely one of the better hip hop albums of all time. Um, but yeah, Run Through the Jungle, man. When that song comes on, I just totally dig CCR. But probably the other thing, if you guys have seen anything on Facebook or anything, the other thing I've kind of taken upon myself to find as many Ronco and KTEL records as I can. Um, I don't know. Most kids won't know what the hell I'm talking about, but they used to sell these records on TV, and it would be like all the original artists singing or playing all their songs, but it'd be a variety of artists on each deal. Jeez, man, what are they doing up there? Like taking a bath?
Could be.
But anyway, Kato and Ronco, yeah, it's just a variety of artists on one record. And like I'm looking at one right now, Ronco. It's called Ronco Presents Far Out. Um, but the other one I came across recently is called High Energy. And it's interesting because it's got like the first song is Heart of Glass by Blondie. And then
Nice.
it goes into like a huge series of disco tunes, including I Will Survive, of course, is on there. And a bunch of other ones. But then at the end on the side two, I think the last song is Renegade by Styx.
Okay.
Like, I guess all that shit fits together. I don't know. But probably the biggest gripe you can have about those records is the fact that um, they definitely didn't give a shit about mastering because, like, the Blondie song's kind of quiet, so you got to turn the volume up, and then the next song comes on and it's so loud, you got to go turn it down. So the levels are all over the place, man.
Come on now.
But anyway, yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
get what you pay for, and those are also the records that are so paper thin. They're like they're almost like they're made out of rubber. It's kind of funny.
Imagine.
But yeah, yeah. But that's what I've been listening to, and a lot more, of course. But those are the main things I can think of. What about movies? You watch any movies? Are you into any new movies lately, or any old movies?
Yeah, I actually just watched. I have a 4K 65-inch LG OLED C9, and I just watched Evil
Ooh,
Dead 2 on 4K UHD, and it
ooh,
was it was breathtaking.
that's magical right there. That
Yes.
movie.
Do I really need to talk
I
about that
love.
movie? Because I mean, everybody knows all about Evil Dead 2.
You know, it's. I I think you can talk about that movie. That movie is. It's pretty much the same exact story as Evil
Yeah,
Dead One,
but
but
funnier.
they just remade it and had more of a budget.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's a comedy, man. I mean, I know that it was going to be rated X for violence, and then he knew about all that, Sam Raimi, so he changed the color of the blood in a lot of scenes. So, like, when it's all spraying out at him from the walls, from the different holes,
Right.
it's all black. Yeah, that's why.
Bastards.
Yeah. I read a book about the making of those films, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun
I'm
how they made their steady cams. And
nice.
do you know how they made them?
No, I don't. I don't have the. Well, it had something to do with their car, didn't it?
Well, that is his car. That is Sam Raimi's car,
No, I don't
right?
know.
That the car that's yeah, that Buick that's in all those films.
Yeah,
And
because that's in
then
Spider Man.
yeah, it's in Spider-Man also. That's Sam Raimi's car. And it's in what's that other one he did with I think it was Tom Cruise's wife. I can't remember her name. But where
Nicole
she kind of
Kidman.
has like no, not that one.
Not Nicole Kidman.
No, didn't he have another wife afterwards?
Well, he had a wife before
A
that.
younger one.
Katie Holmes was after him.
Yeah, I knew that. Katie Holmes, that's who I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Katie Holmes, there's a movie with her that's a Sam Raimi film. It's kind of a mystery thing, but she dies in a car wreck or something. I don't know, but that car's in there too, is what I'm getting at. No, what they did is they had a 2x4 and they would mount the camera dead center in the 2x4, and then they'd have a guy on each side of the 2x4 and they'd run through the woods with it.
There you go.
That's how they got their Steadicam shots. So got to think outside the box when you don't have any money.
Truth.
Um, so what else? Anything else you watched on that recently? I know you've become a big fan of 4K
I
Blu-rays.
did. I actually bought my wife a couple 4K movies for our anniversary,
Oh, that's
and
right. I forgot
yeah,
about that.
so I bought her Parasite, which we haven't watched yet, and I
Mm.
also bought her Boys in the Hood by John Singleton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you watched
That's in
that
4K, and
because
it's
yeah,
really good. It's got really good atmos. Like it's got some good like, of course, because all the music in there is like really cool. So,
yeah, yeah.
but it's a good
So you haven't
story.
seen
No,
Have you not
I
seen
haven't.
Parasite yet?
Not yet.
Uh,
No, it's it's sitting like
you're in.
2 feet
You're in
from
for a
me,
treat.
unopened. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in for a treat. That's quite the film. Definitely, uh, to me, I can't think of anything that's that good that's come along in a long time. So it was a huge movie. I like that, and I really liked The Lighthouse last year. That was a good one too, with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Yep.
Yeah, made by the guy who made Witch. I think it was a movie. Robert Eggers. Yeah, that's a good. If you get a chance to see that movie, that's a good one to
I
watch.
own it
I
in
don't think you really.
4K.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. Yeah. The
You're
Witch.
kidding me. You
Yeah.
have. Oh, The Witch. Yeah,
Yeah, The Witch.
but have you seen Lighthouse?
No, that's not on 4K.
Right. Yeah, it's only Blu-ray. Yeah.
So
But it's on. I don't know if you have any of the streaming apps, but it's on a bunch of them right now. But it's worth a watch. I wouldn't recommend anybody buy it unless you're truly crazy. So I have a copy. Um,
there you go.
because it's that movie is batshit crazy, man. I mean, you almost go crazy watching it, but I dig it. But
Nothing
yeah,
on.
I'm not into too much. Yeah, it's a trip. I'm not into too many movies right now. Trying to think of. Oh, I did. Once Upon a Time in the West was on. I watched that. That's my favorite western. Um, I really like Unforgiven a lot. Also, I
Yes.
think that's a really good movie.
I have that in 4K.
Uh,
Just throw it
yeah.
there.
The thing about that movie that I love so much is the fact that not everybody's like, oh, it's so easy to kill somebody, man. It's ha ha ha. It's the exact opposite of that, and I think that that's kind of beautiful because every other western before that, that's not how it is, and so it's interesting to see that. But then at the same time, dude, Clint Eastwood opens up a can of whoop ass in that film.
Yes.
you know, yeah, they push him too far, man, and he explodes. So yeah, I love that movie. And then I do want to watch The King of Staten Island. I don't know if you've heard of that film.
No.
Yeah, they released it straight to video, but it's Pete Davidson
Oh,
from Saturday Night Live. Yeah, he's had a lot of trouble. He's had a lot of rehab issues, and I think he dated. I don't know. I don't remember the singer's name, but anyway,
Ariana
he
Grande.
hit one of his Ariana Grande. That's it. Yep. But one of his things that he and you'll hear him, and I think he even says it on Saturday Night Live. But his dad was actually a fireman who died in the World Trade Center.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, for real. And the first time I ever heard about it, he jokes about it, and he'll drop that on. I've seen him do roasts too, and he'll drop that on people, and people were just kind of like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Yeah, so if you want to keep making fun of me, that's fine. But my dad died in the World Trade Center." It's like,
Jesus.
that's how he kind of plays it. But this film looks really interesting because it seems like it's somewhat autobiographical. Um, and what's his name plays his stepdad in it. He does the F is for Family show on Netflix. Bill Burr. He's a pretty popular comedian right now, but
Yeah.
yeah, he plays his stepfather in it. So that's pretty interesting as well. But yeah, I want to see that movie. That's the only movie I've seen where I'm like, I got to see that because everything else is kind of on hold right now. So
This is
not
true.
only do we, yeah, not only do we not have baseball, dude, we don't have movie theaters. So that kind of blows.
Yes.
Um, what about TV shows? You've been watching any TV shows? Anything different
I
there?
really don't watch TV shows. I watch like documentaries on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch
Mm-hmm.
Don't F with Cats
I love that. Oh yeah,
with the
that's right.
Luca Magnotta guy from
What a
Canada.
crazy! I when I started watching that, man, I had no idea that I was going to go where I was going to go.
Yeah, it was a rabbit hole.
You know, what a journey! That show is nuts. Highly recommend that to everybody, though. Yeah,
Unless you got a weak stomach, you might not want to watch it.
right. Yeah, there's yeah,
Some animal
yeah.
cruelty
It's
involved. Can I say
yes,
that?
yes, and human cruelty.
Yes.
Um,
Well, there's a lot of
yeah,
people that see one of more abusive than the other, so you know.
yeah. It's interesting to me. I can speak from experience on that with Michael Vick,
Right.
um,
Exactly.
because you know people were so ready to murder that guy, um, and yet there were people that were playing in the NFL at the same time who definitely were involved in murders.
Exactly.
But whatever, I get it. Animals are, they're innocent, so I get it. I get it. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about Schitt's Creek on here a lot. We're knee deep in it. We're getting towards the end of it, and I tell you, that's a good, fun show. It's funny. It's a subtle comedy. I just really like it. The wife and I totally enjoy it.
Cool.
Um, and then for a show that's not for everybody on Amazon is The Hunters with Al Pacino about the Nazi hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty pretty trippy show for sure. If you haven't seen any of that, it's really strange, but definitely not for everyone. It's extremely violent. Um, Also, I think it's maybe the first episode. I think it is the first episode. If you're not cool with seeing an older lady completely buck naked, you may not want to watch it
Like all the
because that's
time.
in there. Yeah. Well, she's getting ready to take a shower,
Oh,
and so there's this, and they don't cut. I mean,
did you see The Shining?
yes, several times.
Yeah, there's that bathroom scene with Jack
So
Nicholson.
just right, yeah. Well, just imagine that, but it's a real person with no makeup. It's like your nana
Oh,
naked.
jeez.
It's like, yay. I mean, how very brave for that actress to do that, but at the same
I'm
time,
sure there
wow.
are websites for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Was it Mr. Skin?
I
Isn't
don't
that the
know.
guy? Is that website? Yeah. There's a guy called Mr. Skin, I think, that has a website. And haven't been to his website, but I've heard him on podcasts and stuff. But I think you can go to his website and so you can go like Scarlett Johansson, type in and he'll tell you what movies where you see her naked or remotely naked anywhere. It's crazy.
Well, there you go.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Using the internet for what it's not for. Um, what about reading? Are you reading anything? You've been reading any books or anything like that
No,
or
I'm
comics?
terrible.
No.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't been buying any comics because the store that
Yeah.
I frequent hasn't been open. So hopefully
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't either. I haven't bought any in a while. I mean, there's some that I subscribe to digitally still, and I need to catch up on a couple of those. I know there's one, Gideon Falls, that I've been reading for quite a long time, and there's a new issue of that, I believe. But yeah, I haven't been either. But I did pick up a book. It's called Supermarket. It's by the author is Bobby Hall.
Yeah.
Bobby Hall is also known as Logic. He's a DJ and he does
Oh,
rap too a little bit. But but yeah, he wrote this book, and actually, there's a soundtrack to it too that he put out as Logic. Um, and yeah, so I took a little, gave me an opportunity to listen to some of his music too. I kind of dig it. Hadn't really heard it before too much. I heard a couple of those songs, but yeah, it's a very interesting book. It's very strange. It's about a kid that's working at this. He's not a kid actually. He's been out of high school for a while. He's kind of failed at going to JUCO and trying to go to college. All his friends have kind of moved on. He's still stuck in the same crappy town, and it's kind of he's living in his mom's basement again, but he's trying to save up to get out, on his own again. And so he ends up taking this job at this supermarket as kind of a bag boy, even though he's like 24. And so it's really weird because there's times when you're reading it where the author will just straight up be talking directly to you. So it completely breaks the walls of fiction.
yeah.
And he's talking about writing the book that you're reading and shit like that. It's kind of weird, but I like it. It's interesting. It's different, and Stephen King's done some shit like that. Some other Joe Lansdale's done some of that. There's been some other authors I've read that have done it, but not quite like this. This is a little bit different, but yeah, really interesting. If you're looking for an interesting read and you haven't had anything new to read in a while, that'd be a good one to check out. My daughter, she's at her BSA meeting. Can I stay for a little longer? We're gonna have s'mores.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. go for it. But anyway, I'm reading that. I'm reading Supermarket. I'm not really reading. I've been listening to some audiobooks, but I listen to a lot of podcasts. So, um, yeah, but you can go down a rabbit hole with those too. I don't know if you listen to a lot yourself, but
No, I just think the last thing that I read was the Beastie Boys biography book.
yes,
That was the last
yeah,
thing I read, which was quite a while ago, I think, a couple months ago.
yeah. You know what? We never really talked about that either. About that documentary.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Um, yeah. What did you think about that, man?
It was interesting. It was really cool, like seeing Michael Diamond and
Hmm.
Adam Horovitz, like sort of describing everything, rather than it being like a documentary where you just have talking faces.
Right.
So it was
And
cool.
pictures.
It
Yeah.
was different.
It was. Yeah. I think there were a few times it kind of almost felt there were a couple times where and I know they were on a tour
Right.
doing this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a.
And so I think that was like the last show or the last one of the last couple shows. And so there were some parts to me that but it's probably because they did it so many times that seemed kind of canned.
Yeah. I agree.
And I don't know if I don't know if it's because Apple produced it or what because I know even though I love Apple computers and stuff because I use them for what I do for a living. I know that they can be kind of corny that way sometimes. And so, like some of their TV shows and stuff that I've seen seem a little cheesy, a little corny sometimes. And so interesting. But yeah, I don't know, I liked it though. I mean, I know you're such a huge fan of Check Your Head.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that's like your favorite? And I will tell you this, dude. I've gone back and listened to that record
Yeah.
more since having that conversation with you, and I do really love that record a lot. I'm not a big fan of Ill Communication as much,
I like Ill
but
Communication.
I do love. Yeah, it's good. It's got its moments, but dude, Check Your Head is pretty solid from top to bottom. Definitely,
Well, I think
no doubt.
that documentary reaffirmed my faith in Check Your Head being the best
Yeah,
album, because they pretty much spell it out for you that it's the Dust Brothers that came up with all the music for Paul's Boutique, and they just kind of like rapped over top of it and came up with like, some samples and stuff where it was really like it was kind of already done. I mean, that's what they always like
right,
make it seem like, they didn't really do much to it. Whereas Check Your Head, they spent like a year trying to like play instruments, learn music, like, get into funk and like just do a whole bunch of hardcore new stuff. And to me, that's like so much
right,
cooler than listening to a bunch of samples all day long. I don't know.
right.
That's just my take.
Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I think to me, when I think about records and when I think about music, to me, I know that there's some stuff that I enjoy, and same thing with movies and TV too. I know there's some things that I enjoy that may not be artistically, you know, valued, but they just came around at a certain time. And
Right.
so Paul's Boutique is that BC Boys record for me because you know, I'd had their first album and I like it all right. I mean, it's still got some good stuff on it, but I didn't, it just wasn't really my cup of tea. I mean, I liked a few things from it, but I wasn't crazy about it. And Paul's Boutique definitely sounds a lot different than that album
Oh
to
yeah,
me.
totally. They all of them do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the very next album is totally different from Paul's Boutique. So, I mean, after watching that documentary and after talking to you about it, I definitely, when I went back and listened to Check Your Head a few more times. And the funny thing is, I already had a Check Your Head T-shirt. I've been wearing that thing forever, but I love that. I love that album, man. I've forgotten that. So now I'm on a mission to get that record, and
Cool.
that's definitely going to be my next because I've got the first two Beasties albums, and then I also really love Hello Nasty.
That's
I like
good.
that record a lot too. Yeah, yeah. That one came along right at a good time for me too. So I listened to the hell out of that one back in the day.
That
But
was
no,
about what?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a late '90s,
I think so. Something like that.
something like that. 98, 99. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. But yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to watch it. I think that still, what was really interesting for me was my wife watched that documentary with me, and she never knew how much I love the Beastie Boys, and B, she never knew how talented those guys are, and everything that they went through to make the music that they made. You know, it's pretty incredible, and I definitely cried like a baby
Yeah,
watching it. I have zero problem admitting that.
same
That's
here.
a tremendous loss, man. I wish he was here. I wish they were coming out with a new album or had a new album within the last couple of years. I really do. I love those guys, and they're sorely missed. Um, anyway, uh, let's
Yeah.
see. Somebody read anything? Yeah, I know you play games too. Are there any certain games right now you're playing?
Uh,
Anything you're into?
that's funny. I'm playing Super Mega Baseball 3 on the PS4, and what
Yeah,
do you know about this game?
I think I've heard about it. Tell me a little bit more about it, though.
It's an arcade type game because MLB The Show
Right,
is the only game that actually has licensed MLB teams
right.
and MLB players. So this is like, but you can customize this game. I've made all 30 teams, and I'm slowly putting on all the real all time. I'm making like all time teams, so each team is gonna have the all time best of each team. So I think the last team I did was the Blue Jays.
Wow,
So or no, it was
wow,
the Mets. It was the Mets.
dude, that's
Yeah, I lost to
the
them.
Mets.
Yeah, I lost to them like 10-11 or something like that.
Was was the Dark Knight on there?
No, Tom Seaver was the starter.
Oh well, there
Um,
you go. Yeah,
he pitched about 5 innings against me and did pretty well. Like I was losing 5-1, and then
yeah.
I actually went back and I was up 7-5, and then they took it back to 10-7, and then they won 11-10. So yeah, but
Wow.
it's really
Well,
fun.
that's a pretty good game, though.
It's arcade style. So if you like arcade style,
Right,
not simu. If you
right.
want simulation, get the show. If you just want to have
Yeah, yeah,
fun, like this is your
yeah.
game, baseball. So
That's probably more. That's probably more my speed. I like the arcade. I mean, I do like the simulation stuff too. The only simulation games that I ever really, 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 really got into were um, the PGA games, Tiger Woods golf,
yeah,
and
oh
those
yeah,
games. I played the hell out of those. So, but yeah, yeah. I did get. I ordered this thing from China. There's a huge market right now of these little handheld devices that you can get that you can emulate on, and they can emulate like all the way from the beginnings of video games all the way up usually to around PS1, but you can do PSP also.
cool.
um, and so you just like with the Raspberry Pi or some of these other Linux systems based systems out Unix based systems out there, you get your memory card and you download an operating system. You use this program called Etcher to write it over to the card, and then pop it in this thing, and it sets it all up. And then you can pull the card back out, put it into your computer wherever you have your ROMs, and then you just slide ROMs over there. And so I've done that with Raspberry Pi because I'm building an arcade cabinet with that, and that's been really fun. But this thing's in your pocket, man. I mean, it's like a it's like a Game Boy Advance or a DS by Nintendo, but this sucker will play all of those games and all N64 games,
Nice.
Dreamcast, PlayStation, PSP, all the way to Scum VM games. So like the LucasArts games, like the Dig and Full Throttle,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. But yeah, everything in between, dude. And so,
Wait,
yeah, I got one of those. Yeah,
Wait, what about this one? If it's got this, then it's a winner. Atari Jaguar.
yeah.
Does it have that?
Good question. I don't think I've seen anybody with an Atari Jaguar emulation system yet. But yeah, I got a really good story about Atari Jaguar, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I they used to, let's see, before, yeah, it was a long time ago. It doesn't really matter. But I have a good friend who lives in Denver, and he and I worked together, and it was GameStop or yeah, was it GameStop? I can't remember, but anyway, it wasn't GameStop. It was Electronics Boutique, and Electronics Boutique had stores in all the malls, and then they also had some self-standing ones. But then there was one that was in an outlet mall here in Kansas City area in Olathe called Stop and Save Software, and it was kind of like Electronics Boutique budget, type of thing. But they had all the new games and stuff too. But anyway, I worked there. I was a manager there, and um, in that same mall there was like a KB toy outlet place,
Yeah.
and they had an Atari Jaguar in there. And so I went and bought it. It was like $29.99 because it was on closeout. And since I worked for Electronics Boutique, I could look at stock anywhere in the country and have it sent to the store. So I had the Jaguar CD ROM drive sent to me, and some of the hotter games that were out for that system. So I had this whole thing lined up, and I sold it on eBay for $600 for the whole setup, right? And so I had it up on eBay, and people were bidding back and forth. And finally, this guy won it. And he was so excited because I had all the games. And went back to the apartment that night after I worked. And where's my Jaguar? I had it all boxed up and everything sitting right by our kitchen table. The only thing we can figure is that they came in to fix the sink or something when we were gone and stole it. Yeah, but I had every hot, and I don't know. Have you ever played a Jaguar?
Oh yeah, I used to own one.
Did
That's
you
why.
have one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I was asking. Yeah, because it had that really
Yeah.
generic. That controller was terrible.
It was really horrible. It was really horrible. And they had other controllers too that you could get, but let me see here. Atari Jaguar emulation. You can still buy them online, by the way. Let's see. See, I don't think anybody's really made an emulator for it yet, which is surprising because there was, yeah, that controller's crazy because it had all those extra buttons on it.
Yeah.
Well, another system that I have actually that's probably, I don't know, 10 feet away from me in a box on a shelf down here in the basement is the
Neo Geo.
nope, I didn't have that. My buddy had that who lives in Denver, but nope, it's the TurboGrafx
Oh
16.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Remember, remember that thing?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I've still got the original, and they came out with a mini that you can go get. I think it's $100. It's got like 40 or 50 games on it on Amazon. But yeah, here we go. Atari Jaguar emulator. Let's see. The emulator zone. Yeah, they've got them on here. Yeah, they got all the games on here too. Interesting. I'm sure you could emulate that on this system. You know,
Yeah.
you would just have to install the emulator and find the ROMs. But yeah, huh, that's funny. I haven't had anybody bring up the Jaguar in ages, dude.
Well, there you go.
that's that's pretty hilarious. Good work. You
That's what I'm
pulled
here
that
for.
one out.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a 3DO, I don't know, something's up then.
I did have a.
Did you?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude.
I used to
That's
have a
where
really.
CDIs came from.
Yeah. This is true.
Yeah. Yeah, CDIs came from that. CDE Interactive. That's where it originally came from. And what was the other one? Did this? Did the? Oh, the Saturn had a CD player.
I didn't have a
The Sega
Saturn.
Saturn.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
have
I've
one.
actually got one of those in a box right over here too. I love that system. Actually, that's second only to the Dreamcast for my favorite Sega system. I loved the Dreamcast, and I actually ordered mine before it came out in the United States. I ordered it from South Korea, and yeah, I loved that thing, dude. I played the crap out of the Dreamcast, but but the Saturn. And here's a cool thing about that too. Since I had access to all that, I ordered all these games for the Saturn. And there's actually a cartridge I have over here because they didn't put out Street Fighter versus Marvel in the United States because of licensing problems, I guess. They did later, but at the time, so you could buy this cartridge and put it in your American Saturn and hold it in there, and then you put the disc in, and then once the screen flips or whatever, you pull the cartridge out, and then you could play Japanese games.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I played the hell out of Street Fighter, Marvel versus Street Fighter on there. I love that game as well, and Dracula X, which was Castlevania X. Um, but yeah, I used to be really into games. I just haven't. That's why I think I got into emulation stuff. And there's a dude I watch on YouTube called ETA Prime. He'll show you how to do all kinds of crazy emulation stuff. One of the hottest machines right now for emulation, if you can get one, is you can go buy a cheap Xbox 360. And dude, those are great emulation machines, man. You
Yeah.
can do all kinds of tricks on those things and put in hard drives and stuff and put crazy amount of emulated games on there. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised at this little thing. I mean, it's just amazing, and it comes in a kit, and you actually assemble it, and so all the parts, are there, and then you have to put the board in, you have to put the screen in, all the buttons. You kind of learn where everything is, and I've got the newest one. It's USB-C charge. It's pretty amazing, and it's got Wi-Fi and stuff, so you can, if you have ROMs, you can send them through your network over to it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun tinkering with it and playing with it and stuff. As you can tell, I like doing stuff like that. And I've already talked to you about the Mac Pro.
Yep.
That's actually what That's what I'm recording on right now. So yeah, I'm loving that thing. And I got my 4 terabyte Western Digital RAID on there, so I can edit. Um, yeah, eventually, there's other things I can add to the system down the road. I mean, you can buy a whole separate board that goes in it for 2 processors. So you can have 2 Xeon 6 core processors, so 12 cores, and then you can have up to like 128 gigs of RAM.
Jesus.
So that's pretty crazy considering the machine's 11 years old, you know.
That's crazy.
Um, yeah, but I've been having a lot of fun with that, and I've edited a little bit of video on it and stuff like that, and you know, it works great. I mean, for what I edit, I don't edit 4K. You can edit 4K on it. It'll work. I got a 4K monitor. Um, they're about $300, but I found a dude on Craigslist had one that was maybe 2 years old, and it was immaculate. And he was wanting like 225. I'm like, dude, I can buy this for 285 new. Um, so we went back and forth. I got it for $125, and it's a 28-inch 4K monitor, and it
Nice.
it looks amazing, man. I mean, right out of the box, it just connected to the Mac and started working. So, but yeah, man, these old machines, I love them. I love tinkering with stuff like that and rebuilding things and repurposing things and stuff like that. I've also started doing reviews again. Um, I did a review for a capture card. Do you need a capture card, man?
No, I got an Elgato.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've got one.
I
I
actually
did a
have
review for one.
I have 3 of them actually.
And That's hilarious, man.
Why? Because
Does
I
any
keep getting it better and better. I keep getting better and better. So then
right,
I buy the better one and the newer one and the newer one.
right,
So and
yeah,
then I forget to
yeah,
sell them.
and you should, dude, get something for him anyway. But I this one I was actually approached because I used to buy stuff. Basically, you buy it and then you do a review for it or whatever, and then they give you the money back. But I was approached about this, and I was also approached about this um, webcam that I got too, because since this is a Mac Pro, it doesn't have a webcam. So I got this webcam. I still need to do a review on it. I haven't had a chance yet. I can tell you it's not good in low light already. Um, but but yeah, so yeah, I did a review on it. I mean, I guess I'll do like some emulation stuff with it, and I can capture that. That's cool with me. I did a video on it to put up with the review, and it's just some of the emulation stuff through the Raspberry Pi. That's pretty cool. I'll have to send you a link to that. But yeah, it's you know I just love tinkering with stuff like that and repurposing things and trying to figure out what to do. Like I have a 1999 iMac down here. That was my first Mac I ever bought, and it works. The screen was a tube, so that's dead. But you can hook it up to an external monitor and it works.
Nice.
So I'm trying to figure out what to do. I may do a music server with that. And there's too much crap. I got to get rid of some of this stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife, I'm sure my wife, anytime I'm like, hey, I got a new project I want to work on, she's like, oh, crap. What's this going to cost? But,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I built this computer. It was probably about, I'm not counting the monitor, but it's probably a little over $600, and I can edit 4K video on it. I mean, I can't even do that on my $2,000 MacBook Pro that I bought a year and a half ago. It stutters with 1080p,
Jeez.
60 frames. So, I mean, I probably could buy an eGPU for an external GPU if I wanted to and run it that way. But who the hell wants another box with a laptop?
Exactly.
So, uh, yeah. So I just bought a Radeon RX 580 for this thing. It's got 8 gigs of video RAM. You can actually run dual video cards in this thing, SLI. And yeah, it's crazy all the stuff you can do in this old box. So we'll see. We'll see what happens down the road. I'm sure my wife's just like, quit buying things for it right now, please. But I can't. I keep looking, man. I keep going on and looking, and they keep putting out videos. Oh, I just put in an NVMe raid, and I'm like, ooh, I could do that. Yeah, NVMe's like, I think a terabyte NVMe is SSD is that thing is like, I don't know, $180 for a Samsung. So if you're gonna do a raid, you need two of those, and then you need the card. It's like, no, stay away, Kyle.
Yeah.
You're gonna get in trouble. Anyway, I know I've kept you on here way too long, Keith Beard. You're a busy man. I know. I'm so fortunate to have all your time, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, dude.
You are quite welcome.
Again, we succeeded in talking about pretty much nothing for a while.
That's
That's kind of
life.
what this podcast. Yeah, that it really is. Everybody's got different interests, different things. That's all we're talking about here, and talking about shit that bugs us. But hey, do you have anything you want to promote or anything you want to talk about? Send people towards.
Just look at Weirded Wonder on Facebook, and then you can check out our YouTube channel, Weirded Wonder.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, good stuff, people. Go check it out if you get a chance. Um, I definitely have had some fun watching some of the stuff that you've got out there. So, but anyway, well, thanks again, man, and I think we'll just go ahead and cut it off right here. Oh,
Thank you. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Um, but one more thing I was going to say.
Oh, what's that?
Uh, oh, get off my lawn.